An example of how even the finest and most prominent soldiers have been denied the disability pension that they seek. The insult here is unimaginable, and the reason for this is clear. For men and women in the armed forces, there is one code that they work under, one code more important than anything else, the code of honor.
This had gone to China for a seminar.
The former Army Vice Chief Lieutenant General Vijay Oberoi lost his leg in an intense gun battle with infiltrators on the outskirts of Srinagar in the 1965 Indo-Pakistan War.
So this is my tank when I was the Armored Div Commander.
But the setback didn't deter General Oberoi, who soldiered on to other war fronts during a 40-year-long tenure where he refused soft postings. He was categorized as 70% disabled when he retired as Army's Vice Chief in 2001. According to the 5th Pay Commission, those with a disability less than 50% would be granted the benefit of disability or war injury pension calculated at 50% rates, those between 50 and 75% at 75% rates, and those above 75% at 100% rates. General Oberoi, who was 70% disabled, filed a case with the Armed Forces Tribunal for an enhancement to 75%. The tribunal ruled in his favor, but the government challenged the verdict in the Supreme Court.
I think this was a bad, not only bad in law, but this is fundamentally wrong according to the Constitution also, which stipulates that a similar problem is applicable to everybody across the board.
The Ministry of Defence has filed 900 similar cases against disabled soldiers from 2012 till the BJP government came to power in the centre. And that's a trend that has continued with this government as well.
If the soldier thinks that by getting killed or disabled, his family will not be looked after, then I think not many people will join the Indian Army or the Air Force or the Navy. Now, that is the sad part. That is what needs introspection by our leaders, especially those who have been elected, who are sitting in Parliament. This is their job.
Former Vice Chief General Oberoi had to move from pillar to post to get his due. He finally got what he was wanting. But the question is, will others having similar problems and concerns also get justice at the end of the day? In Chandigarh, Zafar Iqbal for NDTV.
Isn't that absolutely shocking? The former Vice Chief of the Indian Army. And no soldier is better or superior than the others. There are those who are of a different rank, those who are not officers, who are suffering as well. And one officer, former officer of the armed forces, has taken it upon himself as his responsibility to try and get justice for them. Joining us, Major Navdeep Singh, advocate with the Punjab and Haryana High Court. Thanks, Major, very much for being with us. Shankar Agarwal, former Special Secretary in the Defence Ministry, with us as well. Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, the former Director General of Infantry of the Indian Army. And Shantanu Gupta, the author, joins us on this program. Major Navdeep Singh, is this a government trying to deny disabled soldiers their pension, or is this a process that has essentially been caught up in the bureaucracy which is trying to fight for pennies in certain cases?
See, let me also clarify first that this government has now stopped filing fresh appeals since June 2017, but now the problem remains of withdrawing the pending appeals. And I feel that the pending appeals should now be gracefully withdrawn because the law is well settled by the Supreme Court. Now, coming back to litigation, ironically, the issue is that the UPA has been trying to reduce it, the BJP has been trying to reduce it. But it seems that the political will is not finding its way. And the system is being run by, section officers and undersecretaries rather than the higher bureaucracy or the political executive. And the Defence Secretary has written, the Raksha Mantri has written that litigation has to be curbed. The Prime Minister has expressed intention that litigation should be curbed. But on ground, petitions are not being withdrawn, and the lower bureaucracy continues with this tirade and injecting the system with various urban myths against disabled soldiers, various urban legends against disabled soldiers. So yes, it is red tape in a manner, because the law is very well settled. And while you talk of General Oberoi and I saw your report on Brigadier Ahluwalia, now these are visible disabilities in the line of duty. I'm not concerned much with them. My main concern is with the invisible wounds, the rising disabilities due to stress and strain in military service, you know, the rampant heart attacks that are happening, the growing lifestyle diseases, heart diseases, PTSD, psychiatric problems after being exposed to operations. Those are the problems which absolutely need to be carefully looked at. And rather than counting pennies and spending time in litigation, we should be improving the health profile of our men and women in uniform and give them the disability benefits wherever due as per rules.
Major, we'll discuss all of what you are talking about in a moment from now. Shankar Agarwal, where is the problem? Because from 2010 onwards, the UPA government was in power. Then they started the system of filing appeals against disabled soldiers, and the numbers went up. You know, there were 1,000+ cases, and in many cases, in the large majority of cases, the government ultimately lost. What was the point in actually pursuing all of this?
Yes. First of all, I would like to state that the entire nation respects soldiers while they are in job, and even when they are retired, we have got huge respect for each one of them. Having said that, we have to ensure that wherever we are giving, or we have created rules and regulations for giving pensionary benefits to our soldiers, whether in the name of disability pension or because of some other injury, we had to honor the rules and regulations in letter and in spirit. It was observed that in many cases, some elements in the armed forces, they were taking advantage of the provision, and in spite of the fact that they were hale and hearty throughout their career, at the fag end of their career, they were claiming disability so that they could get the benefit of disability pension. So government thought that it will be a good idea to scrutinize all such cases carefully, and all genuine cases, even if there is some kind of an error on the higher side, we must honor the claims of the soldiers. So it is only by way of scrutiny of the cases, otherwise there is no intention whatsoever to harass our soldiers or to deny their pensionary benefits in any manner whatsoever.
General Kulkarni, how would you respond to that? That some soldiers, and it seems the number has been quite large, if you go by what bureaucrats say, were trying to take advantage of the system.
You know, what happened is, earlier, there used to be a term called attributable to military service, non-attributable to military service, and then the commanding officers had to give that whether a sheltered appointment was available. Now, unlike in the civil, if you were a disabled person, you could continue serving and earn a pension. But as a soldier, if you are disabled, you cannot serve.
No, you have to leave.
You have to leave. So, say for a year to 2 years, the Adjutant General would give a dispensation. If you had 13 years of service, it would be considered as 15 years of service, and he would be given pension. But there were times when he would have much less than 10 years or 8 years. Now, he is discharged without a pension. And if in the court of inquiry or somewhere, if people wrote non-attributable to military service, then the poor thing got nothing. Even in the court of inquiry, on occasions when it is written attributable to military service, probably the PCDA would say no, this has been this injury is while doing physical training or while running or something like that, not in war or something. So there are certain rules and regulations, you know, except in February 15 when the Supreme Court ruled that once a person has joined the service, he is fit. And thereafter, whatever happens, it is attributable to military service. That actually was the turning point where everybody, whoever, and I am of the opinion that a soldier, should he get disabled for whatever the reason it is while he is serving the nation, whether he is on duty or otherwise, because he is considered on duty once he joins the service, it's 24/7. He should be given his due.
Okay. Shantanu Gupta, this government has come on record on several occasions and has said that, look, this kind of costly litigation has to end. They have accepted reports which have actually come out by and large, I mean, several parts of these reports which were commissioned by the Defence Ministry itself, don't you think it is required for this government to withdraw all these cases gracefully, as Major Navdeep Singh says?
I think, so first of all, I want to congratulate NDTV on your show that you are bringing this topic to a national debate and a primetime debate at 10 p.m., right? So I think as one of the previous speaker told, that Prime Minister category told that no such litigation should be done. Defense Secretary, Raksha Mantri, all have told, but still I think such cases are stuck in the files of section officers. It's heartening to hear that after 2017 no fresh appeals are being filed, but you're right, similar action should be taken for the previous appeal. And I think the intention why the current government seems right. After decades, we saw the fruits of OROP. So I think, first of all, I want to congratulate you, and I will tweet. I will ask many people to tweet. So build a positive pressure for the government that if it's not come to their limelight, it should that even the previous appeal should be cancelled.